Okay, so I just want to do another little cancer update here. Um, just saw the doctor today. She went over a lot of the results, how things are going right now. And basically she said by what my numbers are, I've started remission. Um, I had a bone marrow biopsy done and a PET scan last week. So the bone marrow biopsy came back when I first got diagnosed, when they did a bone marrow biopsy a few months ago. There was 90% plasma cells, cancer cells in my bone marrow, to where now when they did it, it's down to 3%. So a huge decrease. So that's why they're saying I'm in remission, but I'm still having chemotherapy tomorrow for my 4th round to bring everything down a little more, because that's going to lead right into my stem cell. So stem cell transplant. So I go in for chemotherapy in the morning, which is Friday. I'll be there till Tuesday, get my 4th round of chemotherapy, come home. I have 1 day off and then chill. And then that next day I go in and get a line put in my chest, because that's where they're gonna collect the stem cells, is through that line. So I'll get that put in. They'll show me how to do injections, because then the next several days I'll do these injections at home. And I think these injections are supposed to help stimulate stem cell growth, I believe. There's a lot going on, so I'm missing some of this stuff, but they'll give me more information as I go on. Then they're basically waiting to see, because the chemotherapy will bring my white blood cell numbers down. So they're going to wait. So when they're down, they're waiting. Every day I'll go and get labs done. So as soon as those white blood cells start to rebound, it's when they're going to collect stem cells. So the first couple days of these labs I could do here in town, because they're like, we're not going to collect on those days where it's not going to be that quick. It's usually day, for me, 9, somewhere between 9 and 11, I think, is when it's going to be where it's going to start to rebound. So when it gets around those days, I'll have to drive to Grand Rapids, which is about 45 minutes every morning. Be there at 7 in the morning, have my labs done, and then they'll look at those labs and see, are the numbers rebounding? If they are, then they send me right over and start collecting my stem cells, which is like an all-day thing. So I would be there from 7 in the morning till 5 o'clock at night. And they think it could take anywhere from 1 to 2 days to collect those stem cells, once they get enough to do 2 transplants. So they'll have enough for the 1 transplant and enough for another transplant, when the cancer starts to come back. So we'll have enough for 2 transplants. I'll have about a week off, after they collect the stem cells. So about 7 days later, I'll come in for the stem cell transplant, which be there anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, I guess, is what they're saying. It just depends how quickly my body recovers, how long I'll be there. So I'll go more into detail as we get closer to that. And I'm sure I'll do some updates from while I'm in recovery for that. We'll see how I feel. So that's what's going on now. Chemo tomorrow, starting for the next 4 days, and then go into the process of pre-stem cell, getting ready to get those collected. So it's going to be a busy next month or so, because I'm looking at probably somewhere June 20th, somewhere in that range is probably when that stem cell transplant will take place. Other than that, I'm feeling better, because they said that the cancer, the tumors that I had in my back are gone. So I don't have that pain. I still have lower back pain because there's some fractures to my vertebrae in my lower back. So that's why if I stand for long periods of time or walk for a long period of time, it starts to hurt. Like right now, I can kind of feel it just sitting in this high top stool I have here. Is starting to hurt my back a little bit, because I've been in the doctor's office for the last hour and a half. So my back's hurting a little bit from that. So hopefully by the time the stem cell thing's gone, she said that should heal. Those that heal and get better. But the recovery after the stem cell transplant, and again, we'll go into more detail of this as time goes on, takes up to like a year of being careful. I gotta watch what I eat. Not like, oh, we can't have sugars and this and that. It's not that. It's, I have to watch, make sure things are cooked, because what the stem cell transplant does is the chemo that I'm gonna get right before the stem cell transplant is the strongest chemo I've had. It's going to wipe everything out inside my body. It's gonna kill all the cancer. It's gonna kill any immunities I've had. So basically you come out of the stem cell transplant like a baby. Like you have no immunity to anything. So that's why you have to be careful for like the next year. I can't have, they have a whole list. I don't know if I have it on me here. They gave me a sheet of paper. I'll go over it more probably in a video when I find it. I got so many papers, but it's like, you can't have, say, subs from Subway or any of these deli places, because they slice the meats with the same slicer and stuff, and though they could be dirty, you could get, basically you don't want any type of food poisoning, any sort of bacteria. So no cold subs. No, same thing with like no buying deli meat from like your local grocery store. No fountain drinks at restaurants. No ice from restaurants, because those could be dirty and contaminated too. Can't be around grass being mowed or any landscaping or trees being cut down. Can't have a real Christmas tree for Christmas. Can't change the cat litter. I'm not supposed to have the cat sleep in my bed or anything, which I'll have to find out why. I think they don't want the cat scratching me, which they don't. The only time they accidentally scratch is like one Gideon, if I play with him and put my, he'll grab on, which I just won't do that. So I'm not worried about that. Just won't change the litter. Got to be careful not lifting heavy stuff, because some of this medication that they give you for the stem cell transplant enlarges the spleen. So you don't want to do anything that could rupture the spleen. So I gotta be careful with that too. Again, there's a whole list, like, bottled water. It's got to be, I think, purified bottled water. Again, I'll find that list of all the different things. Like, I think they went into like, oh, I was like, well, what could I have, like McDonald's? Well, you could, just don't get any condiments on it, because, they're just putting the ketchup and the mustard and whatever on from containers that have been sitting out. So you got to be careful for, like they said, it could take up to a year to get your immunity back. And then after about a year is when I think they'll give you your shots again to, your booster shots or whatever that like a baby would get to, to cover for like chickenpox or whatever else. But I don't think you can get those till after a year. So that's the biggest thing, is just, and obviously as the days move on from transplant time, as you move on, it gets better and better. Your immunity slowly builds up. So obviously those first few 3-4 weeks, you be really careful, and then it takes about a year, but it gets better as you go on. So it's going to be a long year. Again, like I said, those first few weeks will probably be after I get out of the hospital, probably in staying inside, not going out and doing stuff, even though they want you getting some exercise. Like they said, you could go to the grocery store, you can be around people, just not big crowds. Like don't go to a concert, or like if you go to the grocery store, go at off times, like either late at night or early in the morning when there's not that many people. Obviously you need to wear a mask. And there's another thing too. I know people have issues with masks. People and it's not just wearing a mask. People have issues with other people wearing masks. So, and I have to wear one after this, because, you might have just a cold or something. Well, that could put me in the hospital. It could kill me. It could do many different things. So just because you see someone wear a mask, don't assume it's, well, they're afraid they're gonna get COVID. One, I definitely don't want to get COVID either, because that probably would kill me. But I don't want to catch anything. So, there's reasons why people wear masks that you may not know about. So you don't need to go up to someone, because I've had it even here where I guess, the times that I have worn a mask out, like right now I'm not, but usually those first few days, 3 or 4 days after I have chemo, again, my immunity's down, not as low as it's going to be after the stem cell transplant, but it's down enough to where I want to wear a mask if I go out. And you get dirty looks sometimes from people that are, it's like, why does this bother you? You're not wearing the mask, I am. How is me wearing a mask bother you? So, and you have no idea why I'm wearing the mask. If they ask, I would tell them, but I just give them a dirty look back, like, mind your own business. Like, I'm wearing a mask because I'm going through chemotherapy because I have leukemia, At any rate, so there's what's going on. I'll keep you updated on more stuff as it goes on. Like I said, head to the hospital tomorrow for my last round of chemo for a while, or at least in that setting, even though I get chemo again at the end of the month for the stem cell transplant. So again, keep you updated on any other future things as we get closer to the stem cell transplant, if anything changes, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.